So my question is whether you agree or disagree that carbon trading essentially let companies or even country buy their way out of their carbon emission.
I think that's a good question. So there are some truth in that critique, especially when some companies recently misuse their carbon trading to create a shortcut. So that means they don't reduce so much and they just go out and allocate some budget and go and do it. But overall, these are processes that will go through and improve the environment, reduce the greenhouse gas in the atmosphere. So we see a large trend towards a more stringent control. So initially it's a bit difficult, but I give you an example. So emission trading scheme ETS in Europe, the cap of the emission for each of the country, today it is running quite well. It is a success story in many countries to follow. And for ETS, once this is successful, over time, the cap will become lower and lower. And therefore, companies trying to buy out their way will have to pay more and more. So if some companies are so short-sighted and say, I only want to use carbon, I think the ability for them to continue buying out will diminish and they will find themselves having problems in the future.
Okay, it'll become more and more expensive.
Yeah, that's right.
So, okay, good point. So then how does carbon trading price fluctuate and what actually affects them? Are all carbon credit the same? Different?
That's another good question. So carbon trading basically depends on voluntary carbon credit or compliance carbon credit. So compliance carbon credit is tied usually with the cap and trade or carbon tax. So in Europe, it's cap and trade. Right? So if you are being kept this much of greenhouse gas, you emit more, pollute more, you need to buy from somewhere. So some companies will have to sell you at the market price. But if you pollute lesser or you emit lesser, you are able to sell, so you earn the money. And because of that, prices are fluctuating based on market needs. So the more people need it, the price will go up. So as at last few months, ETS price is about €74 per ton CO2 EU. But the voluntary credit is something like you buy and then in industrial term, we call it buy and feel good. So after buying, you can put it in your sustainability report, but that's kind of about all. So because of that, voluntary market has dropped, fluctuated and dropped. In some cases, dropped as low as $2 to $4. So $2 to $4, please don't do that. I mean, it's a waste of.
Okay.
But overall, a good gauge is to look at the carbon tax price. So if carbon tax is like 25, it's likely to be around there.
Okay, got it. So then, at the end of the day, can carbon trading actually significantly reduce global emission? Or at the end of the day, like what you mentioned, it feels like it is just a financial gain for big corporation?
I strongly advocate for carbon credit. So when I was in COP28 Dubai, right, so I was speaking in a panel on carbon credit as a financial instrument. I truly believe this is necessary. So I give you an example. If there are some companies or a country, so small countries like Singapore, for example, in order to be carbon neutral or net zero, we maybe can plant 10 million trees.
Okay.
But our land is so limited. We have constraint. And therefore, the only way for us is after full reduction, after doing everything we can do offset. And if we say, cannot do offset, then there are certain countries who are genuinely needing the offset, and you're preventing them to do good. The amount paid by these countries or companies for the offset and credits are used for real projects. So again, you are also stopping those projects. So not only that you're stopping the country or companies that are with constraint, you're stopping the innovative, creative projects from coming up. So overall, I really feel that carbon credit or carbon offsets are a very important integral part of the whole greenhouse gas reduction process. And I truly believe that it is moving towards the right direction.
Okay.